Good day, good afternoon. I hope you're having a good day. All right, this is a little FTX watch list video, relatively short piece, just showing you my plan, showing you some opportunities that might pop up at the moment and later on as well. So, been a weird week, huh? Been a weird week. It's brought to you by FTX, not the week, but this little watch list here. And as well as TraderCobb.com. If you would like to open up an FTX trading account, all you got to do is click on the description below and click on that link, and you'll get 10% off your trading fees. It'll also show you some videos on how to go long, go short, which is obviously important, and how to manage your risk. So go fill your boots. Okie dokie, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and help a brother out. All right, hey Jacko, hope you're well, mate. All right, let's jump in straight away and have a look at, this is our top 10. I've got a couple of things that I wanted to point out that's in this watch list, but I can actually just, as I was going through and doing my scan before, I can actually just stay in the top 10 because these are the ones that I see as being valid at the moment. So let's have a look at what's going on. Now, a couple of things to mention. Bitcoin, of course, it sold off heavily, 11%. The following day, which was what? That's the 22nd. Sheesh, the month's nearly over. We were down like 9% at one stage, Hey, Jono. We're down 9% after an 11% fall the day before, that. We were really seeing some full-on momentum to the downside. Not only that, but we'd broken through this support level here, which I covered on Tuesday's scan with FTX, and around number of 31,000. But on top of that, so there's three things. Second day of selling, 9% we were down. We broke through 31,000. We broke through a level of support. And also the fifth thing was that we went on to push below the lows here. The low there, which was the maximum low, we broke it. That low there in the move was 29.1. Then we went 28.7. Sorry, 28.8 pretty much, right? So it really looked like we were about to go on a free fall. But something made it go, it popped back up, and we ended up closing the day. And I'm talking about we closed the day up, call it 3%, but off of the lows, we closed up 13%. Well, sorry, off of the lows, we moved 13% to the close. Excuse me. Now, the following day, up 3.5%. So something really, someone or something or a number of the market as a whole decided, nah, we're not, this is not cool. We're not doing this. Hello. We're not going lower at this stage. And we pushed back up. Now what that's done with Bitcoin is we've got a high to a low. So a higher high, lower low. The trend's just blown out. There is no trend. I don't use I don't use sloping trend lines because they're all so subjective. I just think they're a complete and utter waste of time. That's just the way I do things. Keep it nice and simple. We're down 3.5% now. So what are we doing? Hey, Niels, what are we doing? What's the market doing? Well, again, coming down onto this 4-hour time frame is my mid, which I like. You can see it's a bit all over the show. There's that candle that sort of rejected off, and it came through very, very well. This was the low, and then it went just up, 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 up. Then another big push up, and now we're starting to reconsolidate, starting to fall. There ain't much going on in regards to Bitcoin itself. That being said, if I just take you through now, through this top 10, and the reason I focus on this top 10 before coming back to some of these markets that I've got in my watch list for you guys, I wanted to show you the reality. So Bitcoin's not in a downtrend. There's a high to a low. No lower highs and lower lows at this stage. Ethereum in a downtrend. Lower high, lower low. That's there. It's real. If I go to XRP, lower high, lower low. Bitcoin Cash, lower high, lower low. DOT, not quite as good because we do have a little pop here. But it is definitely more bearish than bullish. Same on Litecoin, higher low, and then a higher high to low. There's no doubt about the momentum. It's definitely down. But as far as a good trend goes and the way the trends are, the actual definition of a trend, it just hasn't got that. Binance, lower high, lower low. Look, again, the momentum's down. The momentum is down. Momentum down. Cardano, Link, momentum down. And Stellar, momentum down. So with Bitcoin being sort of the one that's holding the best, what it does is it throws a little bit of speculation into it from my point of view, a little bit of confusion, if you will. And that's because, you know, Bitcoin leads our market, right? It's kind of like our index. And it could bounce from here. Who knows? Because it for some reason it was caught here, and the bulls came. Well, the buyers, I shouldn't say. Sorry, the buyers came back. So what am I actually looking to trade at the moment? Okay, Scotty. Let's jump up now and have a look at some of these the higher time frames here, because this is where the focus is for the time being. No, mate, I can't do Hex. It's not on FTX, I don't believe. So what we've got here is XRP, and what I'm actually looking at here is the possibility of another cradle setting up just here. Now, the only concern I have is we've got a lower high, we've got it moving down. The only concern really is at 16 hour, because it did just tip the high, a little lower high there. But you can definitely see that there is, you know, considered downward pressure. A lot of candles set up like this at 2 a.m. my time. That would have been your trigger time, but they're still within that range. I'm just seeing if there was to be another bearish candle there, if that would work for a trade for me. But the other thing I'm looking at is this. I know it's moved up again here, and as I've been setting this up, we were kind of coming through. But if we start to create a lower high and lower low, we can move then on to the lower time frames, like our 15 minute and a 30 minute, and look for little cradles, boosters, breakouts, that sort of thing. Of course, that's why this is, you know, a tale of two time frames. We've got the higher time frame here, you know, that's back into the cradle zone looking pretty bearish, but then you've got the lower time frame, which I'm also looking at as a potential for shorting later on. The trends need to kick back into down for us to be able to have that cyclicity to be able to trade. Now, the same could be said for Ethereum, and I was kind of hopeful that we would dip from here. When I say hopeful, I mean, I'm just talking about trading. I'm not talking about my desire for the market to fall as a crypto, you know, the crypto market to fall as a whole. I want to see trading opportunities. I want to see options available to us. So yeah, I'm going to jump across to Litecoin now, because Litecoin's another one that we've got some support running through here. It's not the greatest level of support. It's only 2 tests right now, but it's kind of on these time frames like the 1 hour. And you'll note there's a lower high coming back down, equal low, and a potential for a lower high here. Now, if that rolls over and comes back down to touch here, we'll have a new lower high, and that could perform a breakout trade for us. You can also then combine that with the 8 hour as it's pushing, you know, back down from that cradle zone, and also that 12 hour. As you can see, momentum is there. Now, a couple of questions. Yeah, McAfee, or whatever you want to call him. Yeah, that was a bit of a shock. I heard that on the radio this morning driving into work. Very, yeah, I guess a sad story. First live event I catch, new to the community and live trading floor. Oh, g'day, Herman. Concerned about the lack of options on FTX US. Well, mate, what you want to do is drop a message into the community, all right? Say that you're from the US. We've got a bunch of US clients, and I think it's really going to open your eyes to some of the options you've got available. Now, I can't say it, but I'll let the community take care of you on that one, mate. So just drop that into the TraderCobb Slack group and say, hey, US trader here, you know, what options have I got, yada, yada. And I'm sure you'll get some pretty good answers in there, some good workarounds perhaps. Okay, right, so yeah, again, the momentum is down, and looking at this 1 hour, if we can build into there for a little touch into here, it's going to take some time. Also, if you don't know what the breakout is, that's fine, because if it pulled back into this support level here, you could get a cradle as well. Now, a couple that were in my watch list this morning, Synthetix is one that's been, the gang have been short for quite a while on this little cradle back here, so that's going quite well. Got taken out of Litecoin yesterday, which was also, not Litecoin, IOTA, which was a great little runner. Sort of, you know, picked up some of the loss. I had 2 losing trades last week, as I said. It took those losses away and basically made me profitable, which was very nice. Okay, another one here, Loopring with the lower highs, lower lows, bearish candle. Still got 3 hours 28 to go. That's my only concern there. There's still a wee while. You could have taken that in a 4 hour cradle this morning, and in which case you'd be in a little bit of profit just there right now. So another one to watch, and this again folds back into that 15. If it were to continue to move lower and we started to get some good cyclicity on those lower time frames, you know, no worries. I'd be happy to trade that. This was a really good one this morning. Pulled back in. Was it the 12? Oh yeah, I think it was the 12. Oh, see, this was the 2 a.m. candle I was referring to. 6 p.m. Till 2 a.m. So at 2 a.m., that was a beautiful cradle short. Now you'd be at 1-to-1 easily now. You'd be at about 2-to-1. So I'm just, illustrating that, my time frame wouldn't have worked. Those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, that was available. And a number of others also were available. Trades are setting up. They are available. Now, as it stands right now, I don't like the 15-minute here. It's just cascading, isn't it? But now that we've got this trend in motion, look, a pullback into this region, 2200 would be lovely. Little bearish candle in there. We've got the 2 hour in a downtrend as well, so it fits the mold. We can start to look at those lower time frames to capture those waves, given that this is like, the potential with this trend is that the 8 hour could continue further. OKB, I was watching as well this morning. There was some support coming through here, but it broke fairly quickly. Didn't really get that much joy from that. Yeah, there's nothing there on OKB at the moment. Uniswap, I'm just going through and seeing if there's anything else. Yeah, see, that was my issue with this morning. It didn't close very bearish. Again, though, the same thing. We've got some momentum starting to shift. The market seems to be coming off right now as we speak. So if we see this market start to, if we start to create those lower lows, it's going to be the 4 hour time frame that's going to offer me the opportunities. And here again is that 2 a.m. candle. Look, beautiful little bearish candle. Boom, off we go. You'd probably be close to 1-to-1 yet again. This was a ripper as well. Look at this bearish candle. So you can see this is why I move between different time frames, because and look at, people say, oh, I live on the other side of the world, I'm not around. Well, I wasn't around here and you were if you're on the other side of the world. Really good trading setups have occurred over last night. Now, when it comes to Stellar, I'm also stalking this very closely. So yes, this is one that I can add, or keep in, I should say. If this candle doesn't close much lower, like, if I want it to close bearish, right? What we'll have is we'll have a little bearish candle there, okay? It won't be too wide. That's why I say I don't want it to move too much further just yet. But look at how good this trend is. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Off we go, back in again. And this is what I'm talking about when I refer to cyclicity. That's a daily trend that's been very steep to the downside. So I am going to keep my eye on this over the next, well, that's actually 7 hours. So that's not good. I just wish I was around at 2 a.m. No, I don't. I'd be too tired. But you get my point, right? There's been some great opportunities. Again, though, if this does decide it wants to start setting some lower lows, go to those lower time frames. And finally, onto Yearn here. There's that 12 hour again, and unfortunately this morning for me, it didn't close bearish enough, otherwise I'd be triggered short right now. Look, the same thing applies. If it does start to roll over, we'll go to those lower time frames as well. Okay. Bump and run reversal pattern on 1 hour. What does that mean? Bullish or bearish, or what are you talking about Bitcoin on this here on the daily? Because to me, yeah, I haven't got Google images up in front of me right now, mate. I'm assuming you're looking at this, rejecting that low and then potentially moving from here. Look, I'd love for that to occur. I really would. But what I'm going to stay doing is trading what I see, not what I think, and not what a picture shows. So I'm just going to focus on, like I said, Bitcoin's market is not as bearish as some of the others out there. Until we see some more cyclicity and upside potential, I'm looking for shorts, and the reason being is because I read the market, and the market's presenting opportunities here and there that are there. Look at XRP, little bearish candle right there, and Litecoin as well, starting to pull back in on some of these time frames as well. I do hope to see, where'd that support go? Oh, it's on this one. I do hope to see this build into a support level if I am to take a short. So there's not a huge amount right now, but that's the plan, that's the play. I'm looking at the 8s and 12s on the higher time frames in the few hours. If we don't hold in that small range, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going to the lower time frames and trading those with best liquidity and best cyclicity on that 15, 30 and 1 hour time frames. Guys, I hope you're well. I'll speak to you again very soon. I'm going to skedaddle. I've got things to do. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and if you want your FTX account, just click on the link below because yeah, you can get 10% off on your trading fees. Cardano, yeah, it's starting to move quite well now, isn't it? Anyway, let's see what goes on.